What's up, guys? We'll be starting soon. Sorry about that last one if you tuned in. I had a little technical difficulty. We are good to go. Oh, hope y'all been having an awesome weekend out there. It is coming to a close. And we just had the daily also close for the week. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. Also, a couple other things on deck. Some NYSE news, follow up on that. Starbucks comments on some of the CNBC push and all the other things that y'all been seeing about they're getting into crypto. So they do announce a little bit or clarification on that. All right. Let's get into it. Welcome to Noiz Research with your host, myself, Z-Rex. Again, like I said earlier, I hope y'all had an awesome weekend. Y'all were safe out there, all that good stuff. Hopefully you're not panicking too much and didn't go all in. Not feeling too hot. Speaking him in that situation. So they had to do a $9 million clawback after an enormous Bitcoin future fails. Man, that was pretty rough. I'm not sure if this guy traded a lot or if it was like really like exactly why they were so concerned. I guess maybe he just got a little too big than he was supposed to. You almost think like they would stop though, like they wouldn't let his account go so far. I don't know, I'm not sure. But a couple things in here I wanted to talk about that I think are very important for the future of what I'm going to call socialized losses. So if you look on here, excuse me, I had to make a couple adjustments over here and some audio stuff. So after the insurance is taken out, the loss to investors is around 1,200 BTC or about $9 million at press time, which was a couple days ago. So they also injected an extra 200 or 2,500 Bitcoins into the fund, worth about 18 million, to limit the damage to traders. So they're calling this, I said like socialized losses, they're calling this a societal clawback, or this author is. I'm not sure if that's the words that they used or not. When the platform's insurance fund is not able to cover investors' total margin call losses. In that case, counterpart investors, i.e. those who have short positions, will have to make up the shortfall. And they say, quote, when the insurance fund cannot cover the total margin call losses, a full account clawback occurs. In such case, only users who have a net profit across all 3 contracts for the week will be subject to the clawback. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this, and I'll tell y'all why. This is kind of a form of a bail-in, right? In Cyprus this happened, in other European countries this has happened, where they just take money from other people for shortcomings of either the entity itself, i.e. the bank, or in this case an exchange, or other individuals that are part of that. So let's say you made money on those contracts for the week, you're on the short side, and they're doing fine. They're probably doing good. Let's just assume they're still open. Like, how would you feel about the idea that they could just take your contract wins away from you to help kind of prevent the system from crashing, so to speak? But why wasn't that already in place before that case? Like, why did they let this guy even open up a $400 million position on there? It's an, quote, unusually large long position. Yeah, it is, quote, unusual, that's for sure, that you'd let it get that large. Like, why did they? I don't know. That's it's interesting, to say the least. So they're going to split proportionally by all profited traders' realized and unrealized gains. So even if you already closed your position out and you locked in those gains, you did an awesome job shorting, let's say at 8,000, and you got 500 or 1,000 bucks in there in profit per coin. Well, they can even retroactively come back and take realized gains. That's even more crazy than the open positions. So again, to kind of come back full circle to why I think this is not a really cool idea, is because I don't think it gives proper business incentive. Yeah, of course, sometimes someone gets hacked or something like that happens, like Bitfinex claimed, right? And then they created the BFX token and then issued that, and it ended up working out because the price of Bitcoin went up as well. But like in the bailouts in Cyprus, or bail-ins, I'm sorry, because it came from inside money, they just haircutted everybody that had money there by 20-30%. And I think in certain circumstances, maybe if a hack was legitimate, that can make sense. But overall, I'm not a really big fan of the idea, because I don't think it plays it doesn't put in line proper incentives for businesses to conduct in a safer way for end users and their consumers. Because especially in this case, where, well, why did you let him get an unusually large position? And so now it caused havoc in there because you let this guy just keep going. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, we made a really big mistake, so we're going to exercise an account clawback, a societal clawback. But the exchange, these are their quotes saying account clawback occurs, just like Bitfinex just taking money from you and haircutting. But at least they issued you like a little token in hopes you could get some of it back, right? So I don't know. I'm not a good fan or big fan of the socialized losses. I think it's kind of a test bed. And I know this is going to be crazy. This is going to put on your conspiracy hats, right? Oh my goodness. But I think this is a test bed for how the younger people in newer markets are going to accept socializing the losses. Because bail-ins, without going too far into this, bail-ins are going and are legal now in the United States. They passed a law a few years ago and they snuck it in. I can't remember which one it was in at the moment, but they made it to where they're going to be able to do bail-ins here, which is likely what will happen in the next crash. So let's say, Wells Fargo or something like that goes down a lot and it starts getting to a critical area where they're like, oh, what are we going to do? Then they are going to effectively take your cash and cash equivalents from accounts that you hold with them and issue you stock instead, maybe at a slight bonus rate, maybe not. Well, that is yet to be seen, but they're going to be able to do that, which is kind of interesting because how is that going to save something if there's a run on a bank? I'm not a fan of it. I don't like socialized losses in most circumstances. There are a few, like I said earlier, maybe it is a bona fide hack, but even then, how are they proving some of these sites are getting hacked? I'm not sure. But yeah, just food for thought, guys. Think about that a little bit. Comment below, please, or send me a message. I would love to keep talking about this idea of socialized losses. I don't think it's been discussed enough in depth, and it needs to be, because I don't want this to become the normal. You think it's just okay to let people open unusually large positions, and then it screws everybody over that even have realized gains already. So, not a big fan. But let's move on. So despite the awesome news from what they're saying, the biggest news of the year, and it was actually played that way. I don't watch CNBC or mainstream media pretty much at all. But I started looking at it a little bit just to see, because CNBC is talking about crypto a lot. Like a lot. And so I did notice the big guys were talking about how this was huge news. It was awesome. Interestingly enough, it sold off. How funny is that? But, and it is huge news. I made a video about it and was talking about how awesome building things to create digital asset ecosystems. That's amazing. We want that to happen. They're also teaming up with 23, right? Leading global exchanges. Also with NYSE in there. Big, huge news. It's super awesome. And I didn't talk about this last time, but they also plan to launch physically delivered Bitcoin futures contracts this November, guys. That's coming up very soon. The timing of a lot of these announcements has been very interesting here. And it lines up a little bit more with my thesis that this is 2013 summer, not 2014 summer. And I know a lot of people probably don't agree with that. That's okay. But it feels a little bit more like 2013 to me than it does 2014. There are a lot of people that are washed out, don't want to do it anymore, but it still has some decent spirit, right? 2014, pretty much by the summer, and definitely by, the fall, the spirit was completely ruined. Everybody hated crypto. Altcoins were absolutely destroyed in that time frame. And there's still some altcoins now that are looking okay. So, I don't know. That's what I think. And then this more news comes out that seemed to be lining up for a very bullish winter season, which, if you don't know, Bitcoin is traditionally bullish in the winter. I believe almost every fourth quarter has been positive on Bitcoin except for 1 or 2 since it's been out. We can look at that here in a little bit when we get into charts, but yeah, so they're going to do a physically delivered BTC contract. This is awesome. I've been waiting for this. I've been talking about this a lot, that it was inevitable that we would get one of these. It just makes a lot of sense. I mean, most of the other contracts are they're able to be physically delivered. A lot of them are cash settled as well. But the oil and some of these other ones, you actually can get it delivered to your house. And yeah, you don't want to do that because that's crazy and that's not a great idea. But I do think that that's awesome that it's finally coming to fruition, having a physically delivered contract. So they're going to launch a one-day physically delivered Bitcoin contract along with physical warehousing in November of 2018. Guys, that is huge. That's exactly what they do with precious metals and other commodities with futures. Okay? This is really big news. And the fact that the market did sell off on it is pretty funny because everybody wants ETF, 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 right? But when there's something that, like a news article such as this, that provides even a better foundation to build that ETF, the market freaks out. Just a lot of the people in the crypto space have barely started trading, you know, in the last year or two, and only crypto, so they're just not very well versed and don't understand how important this actually is to getting to that next step. And that'll be awesome too, to be able to have, you know, physically delivered get your BTC for real instead of just having it cash settled. That I think most of the Bitcoin community is actually going to prefer that versus just having it cash settled. That's my opinion, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's super awesome, guys. Keep an eye out for that. On just some stock news, we'll go ahead and add this here to it. Ethereum Classic is finally getting added to Coinbase on August 7th. It looks like it's going on Coinbase Pro, formerly GDAX. So that's pretty awesome. They're in their final testing of support. I know people are pretty excited about this. I am pretty stoked. I like Ethereum Classic. I don't know if I like it better than Ethereum. Maybe. I guess they haven't done anything like a DAO, considering that was kind of the reason they split, and Charles Hoskinson was all pissed off about that. So I do like that idea better, but as you can see, it's been showing some nice strength there. They got a little chart. So ETC, we don't need to go in all that. You all can check this out if you want. Just wanted to make the announcement if you didn't know. It is going live Tuesday of this coming week, so in a couple of days. All right. On stock news, just to give you all some, you know, perspective in the exchange world. This is from Visual Capitalist. If y'all don't know them, they are awesome. They make lots of visualization and infographics that are very clean, as you're about to see. We'll show you. So there are 60 major stock exchanges in the world, with a total value of $69 trillion, guys. That's right. The crypto market is barely, what, 250, 300 billion right now? Let's go pull it up. 257, okay? That's like, what? Didn't even know. What is that? And then, so you can go and trickle down from that to the exchanges, of course. They're not doing or near this valuable. So the $1 trillion club, 16 exchanges with a total market cap of over $1 trillion, and that's what they're going to call the $1 trillion club, okay? So that is going to be these exchanges here. These are pretty much the biggest ones, okay? So obviously NYSE dwarfs, NASDAQ dwarfs, and then you have London, Shanghai, Japanese, Hong Kong. Shenzhen has actually been growing pretty damn fast. But there you go. Those are kind of the main ones. Over 93% of the global stock value is divided between 3 continents. Obviously, this is why a lot of people put so much weight on the United States markets. Clearly, they are a hoss. Look at this. The NYSE itself is bigger than the world's 50 smallest major exchanges. So yeah, and as you can see, this is bigger than most every other one by far. Let's just look at some deeper numbers, and then we'll get off of this here. There's Asian. Let's go to the States. Yeah, look at this. Here you go. Bam. $28 trillion, guys. That is an insane amount of money, right? And that's all North America, right? As you can see here, you can kind of add that up. 18 just for the NYSE. So the NYSE clearly is smashing everybody. That's why it's really big news when somebody like the NYSE says, and the ICE that comes in, that's part of that. And they're like, yeah, we're about to get in and build the groundwork and framework for crypto digital asset exchange services. And that means a lot too. And then we sell off, and then they actually also say that we're going to have physical future contracts, and it's launching in Q4 in November. Guys, that's crazy awesome. Silly, silly people. Silly people. You know, it's easy to... It's pretty damn easy to forget when the price goes down $1,000, $2,000. It moves a lot, and that's a big number, right? You know, most stocks aren't moving $500 to $1,000 in a notional amount. Like, percent-wise, they might be doing that. Like, Amazon moving $50 isn't that crazy. It's over, you know, it's around $1,800, but that's still not, like, 7,000, right? The whole index. Like, imagine if the NASDAQ, which is about the price of roughly where Bitcoin is now, around 7-ish K, 7,500 or so. Like, imagine if the NASDAQ was just moving $1,000, $2,000 every week or two. It'd be pretty wild. But it's a lot harder to do that since it's a way more deep market, as you can see. Trillions, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's clarify something with Starbucks here. So they say no coffee for Bitcoin. No. No coffee for the Bitcoin. Well, kind of. Maybe coffee for the Bitcoin. Even how they say this, I'll read this to y'all. It's pretty funny. So, at the current time, we are announcing the launch of trading and conversion of Bitcoin. However, we will continue to talk with customers and regulators as the space evolves. So they're trying, and they say that they're not accepting crypto for your frappuccino, is what she says. So it's pretty funny, and they're citing, you know, Bloomberg and CNN ran misleading headlines. What? They would lie? No. No way. Jeez, it just hurts my soul. So they say convert digital assets like Bitcoin in the US dollars, which can be used at Starbucks, is what they're going to be able to do. But customers will not be able to pay for frappuccinos with Bitcoin. Well, that kind of doesn't make any sense. So you're going to say customers can't, or they won't be able to buy fraps with Bitcoin, but they're going to be able to convert digital assets like Bitcoin into US dollars, which then can be used at Starbucks. So that's pretty funny to me. I don't know. It's pretty much like saying, hey, but that once the app does it all on the back end, like, I don't take euros on my website. I only take dollars, and then you can buy stuff on my website for dollars. But there's lots of services though between the intermediaries between me and you that accept and process payments that will convert your euros into dollars to give it to me. But that's, you know, that you're not using euros though, right? Like, that's silly. So it's like it's almost like they're like, no, don't say that yet. Starbucks can't say, holy crap, yeah, we are on the crypto markets. Like, that would be huge. People would, like, Bitcoin would jump probably like 500 to 1,000 bucks if that was like confirmed news. But it's pretty damn confirmed. Even with her answer, it's pretty silly, and we're still kind of flat here, which is interesting. But yeah, so pretty funny. Let me know what y'all think about that. All right. Bitcoin merchants see payment decline in 2018 despite record low fees. Yeah, well, that's not too surprising. It's kind of in a bear market. We've been getting slapped a little bit. People are a little bit discouraged, if you will. So, oh, excuse me. Look at this, guys. What? All these high fees and all this stuff? Bitcoinist is reporting that Bitcoin transactions fees hit their lowest in 7 years. 7 years. And I talk about that in my videos. I sim Bitcoin a lot, and you know, I've been sending pretty much for, yeah, a while. Unless it's a crazy spam mempool day, just think of it like a DDoS where it makes your fees just high. Those usually doesn't last that long, so maybe you can just wait a little bit and send your money later. Or take advantage of sending money when the mempool doesn't have anything in it and fees are low. And don't use exchanges. If you use just wallets and things that connect directly to the chain, they're only going to charge you very, very low amounts. I mean, you can get away a lot of times paying less than 5 Satoshi a byte. I mean, I try to never pay more than like 10, 15 cents for any transaction. If it's a smaller amount of money, I try to even go lower. And also do know that you can pay your fee to expedite it, right? You can pay more, which is a cool little feature in there. It's awesome. So yeah, just kind of balance whatever you're trying to do. You're just moving some money real quick. You don't need it at this moment, or you can wait a day or something, or even a few hours. Then yeah, spend really like a lot less, and it'll get in there in the next handful of blocks or so. You got to have it next block 10 minutes. You want to spend that money ASAP? Well, then you know, pay a little bit more in fees. That's how it is. A wire fee is 10 bucks or whatever, and it's pretty much instant. ACH is free, but it takes, you know, 2 to 4 days, maybe 5. So there you go. What? Convenience? Cost money? Yeah, like, don't act like you don't know a convenience store. When you go buy something there, there's a fee, convenience fee. Right? Boom. Here you go. This is a really good point. This is the only reason I really wanted to bring that up in a couple thoughts that I said just a second ago. Then I think people don't think about this. They just want to bitch about Bitcoin is so expensive and blah, blah, blah. Even with a transaction fee of $54, as this author writes, Bitcoin is still cheap to pay wages. Consider paying overseas freelancers, right? Even after a $54 fee, Bitcoin is still cheaper and faster than traditional methods. PayPal is 5% for overseas payment. So if a freelancer earned over, you know, about 1,100 bucks in a month, Bitcoin's cheaper. There you go. And no one's talking about like that dynamic. That's like way damn cheaper, right? And that's assuming when it's super high and having a crazy dumb $54 fee, which is not the majority of the timers are way out on those wings, right? I would say use case for big ticket items. Overstock.com reported a 2-fold increase in crypto-based sales in the first half of 2018. Furniture and laptops are the top items bought with crypto. That's interesting. Let's actually go check that article out. Just for a quick second here. Gets only about, that's what I wanted to see there, total revenue, 0.2%. So that's about 68 to 120,000 bucks a week. Hey guys, that's serious, man. That's some money. That's flowing. And you know, Overstock, they've been on the crypto train for quite a while. So pretty dope. I think this is going to be, this is only going to keep growing, right? It's, as more apps get built, it's a beautiful thing. And more people are going to use this. And like I said earlier, even if they don't know they're using it, it could just be seamlessly integrated on the back end, like how most things that we use are, right? Internet, electronic things, etc. Here we go. Here's something that's interesting. A lot of people don't talk about. We pay a processing fee for credit cards, and we employ about 40 people in our fraud department. And that's just for Overstock. That's the cost of doing business with credit cards. Yeah, so not only do you have to pay the fee, you have to pay people to make sure people aren't getting screwed over and doing fraud. You know, like it's pretty wild, man. Like, I wish everyone in my business and my customers would pay me in crypto. It'd be great. Hell, if they did, I could even just be like, oh, you know, if y'all do that, you can get X% off or something, you know, like Specs or some of these larger companies that do like cash discounts. So, food for thought. And think about that too. Who do you have to hire for fraud on credit card or crypto cards? Let's call them, or with cryptocurrency. You don't like. There's no. It's just a way different dynamic. Credit card companies like to do lots of chargebacks and all that kind of stuff. Now, will they need that in the business world? Yeah, of course. And there'll still be some people that probably do this, but they won't need 40. It's a lot of people. That's a lot of payroll. Lots of payroll. All right, let's go to the markets, guys. Still sitting here at about 257. It's kind of low. Like we've talked about, we need to get over 300. Get that fresh money in here. So nothing really exciting on that chart. Bitcoin down a little bit more. Ethereum Classic showing some good relative strength here. That was probably mostly because of that Coinbase news. Let's go ahead and look at Ethereum Classic on the chart real quick before we get into the Bitcoins. Looks pretty okay. It is coming up on the purple longest term EMA. So, and this trend line, a resistance line that's been intact for a while. Some people might draw it right here. Some people might draw it like this. I don't know. It's kind of loose. You got some ugly wicks up here. So I like to just do more so on closing prices and maybe kind of split the wicks, kind of like how I like to do it. So, and then I raise them up a little, as you'll know. So, but yeah, so we're coming up on this trend line. All the averages are just sitting here, right here, flat. This does look pretty damn good. Let's see if we go to the 4 hour. It's just been exploding. Even today, it's up more. So that's might be a good sell the news event. As I said earlier, here you go. August 7th is when that's going down. Yeah, so we'll see if it can continue. August 7th is just in 2 days, so do be wary of that as we come into all this resistance and that. But other than that, if we can break above probably like 17, 18 bucks, I'm sorry, 18, 19 bucks, it's going to look real good for ETC. Better than it does now. All right, let's go back to the list. What else is showing some relative strength? Nothing really. Everything's kind of selling off with it. Veechain is... What happened to Veechain here, guys? What is this? Why does this chart look like that? Let's pull that up on finance, because it's like some bad data or something like that. Let's see here. Jeez, Veechain just has been murder fest, with no signs of less murder. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm not sure why this chart says that. It must be just bad data. It's okay. No worries, it happens. MOAC showing some relative strength. Don't even know what that is. Let's check out its revolutionary purpose. Oh, it's designed to be a scalable and resilient blockchain. Ooh, that's a new word there. That supports transactions, data access, control flow, in a layered structure. Oh my gosh. It can execute smart contracts? Holy crap, guys. I am so going all in on this one. All totally in. I swear, these guys, like, all these damn things say the freaking same thing. It's hilarious. Like I've talked about before, the chains are already built for the most part. Build the damn apps, dudes. Let's see what markets this is on. And chicks, too, out there. I know coding and finance is a predominantly male industry, but hey, come on. Bring it on. build some dApps. Doesn't say there is any exchanges on there. Sometimes they don't have them on here. Coin Checkup is not as good as CoinMarketCap in that respect sometimes. But that's okay. You can email them and ask them to add it on there, and they're very prompt to respond to you. I do it often because I do prefer Coin Checkup. Plus, CoinMarketCap has done some shady stuff that I don't like. I'm sure y'all remember some of that back in the day, like making up volume and stuff like that. All right, well, anyway, that one's showing some strength. Apparently, In Power Coin is showing a lot of strength. Only 100. What the hell is this? Let me see. It's other revolutionary purpose. Oh, nope, there isn't even one. They're just like, we just do stuff. We just have a cool blockchain. So these guys have to be on an exchange to be moving like this, I would think. No. All right, guys. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and see EMPR. And see if they have any info on that. Token Store. Don't even know what Token Store is, but, you know, it only has about 200,000 in volume. Probably doesn't matter. So, all right. Other than that, nothing really crazy happening. Most stuff is just kind of basing, hanging out, waiting to see if Bitcoin's going to break its next leg down, which let's go ahead and start looking at that right now. Here we are, having a little bounce. That daily does look good. I like that candle formation. I was kind of hoping to see one of those. I would have liked to see it dip a little bit lower, though. Like maybe even breach this trend line a little bit. That would have been nice. But you don't always get what you want. Actually, most of the time you don't get what you want. But as you can see too, that other chart, we have these converging trend lines. They're all bottled up here. There still was some great buy volume up into this, and this little liquidation break is what I'm thinking that this probably is we had a big sell-off here with some good volume, and it was increasing. Then as it kept selling off, volume kept tapering off. Even when it sold off again, another 400, 500 bucks here. That's a pretty good sign of bears getting exhausted. Now, it does need to be confirmed. We have had these two boxes on here a while for the ranges. We're kind of in the no man land range at the moment. It is very important to note the 618 from this measured move from here to here is lying right at about 6,800, right underneath the top of this box. That is going to kind of be the line in the sand. We've talked about it before. We said about 7K. If it closes on 7K on a daily, then watch the hell out. We literally closed at 7,025. I couldn't have really got any damn closer than that, but it did not go below it. We'll see if it can hold up. We are having a nice little bounce today. Maybe there'll be a little flurry of some news. Maybe people will actually digest some of the news that I considered to be very good. But maybe that's just me. Apparently no one else thought that the NYSE operator and all this building an in-house, like the largest exchange on the planet, $20 trillion. And they're partnering with 23 of the largest global exchanges to build a digital asset settlement network between them, and also to launch physically deliverable contracts. Huh? And we do this. Market's silly. They could have put that out, sold it, dumped it to get ready to make the next leg up. I could definitely see that. Plus, we also have the ETF announcement is on the back burner for now, sometime back over here. So you have that announcement has been pushed off into the fall. You have they're going to launch Bakkt or Bakkt. I'm not sure which one it's called. I'll call it Bakkt. And that happens in November. The way the price action here looks, I mean, a lot of things are lined up for a pretty solid big run in the winter. Now, yeah, actually right here, I'd like us to try to make a new little high here. Maybe come up here and test 10K or the top of this channel one more time. And then maybe roll over even and sell off hard, like all the way back down to like 6 or 7,000 back over here before the winter time, and then just go bananas in the winter. So this would be perfect. Boom, sell off, right? Kind of chop, ETF announcement somewhere in here. Give that the fuel, chop, and then start getting crazy. The chart does look like it could easily do that, okay? But no one knows shit. That is just an observation I'm making at the moment, and it looks pretty compelling. All right, we'll see if it plays out. Again, that will not be correct. That's for the bull case. For the bears, if you want to be bearish, this channel, as we've talked about, it's still the main part. Okay, so if this of the bearish case, if we break below these prices on a daily close below 7,000, we are likely to test the low 6,000s. And if we start getting momentum to that side, your absolute crazy floor is about 5,500 ish, which is the lows from back over here. This little wick went down to, oh, sorry, not that wick. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're at about, I took it to this last wick before the big run up. Yeah, so about 5,500. It gives a little cushion too for all of this. We are seeing, or we were seeing, a lot of divergence. Let me go ahead and erase that because it is no longer valid. We are seeing quite a bit of divergence, even on the daily, from about back here, but let's see if it keeps playing out. It can be just done. We are below the 50, and as y'all know how I like to use the RSI, we were above here. That means bulls are in. Now we have officially definitely closed below 50. So they potentially could have lost steam, but that's not confirmed yet. Okay, off DMI, you've got the battle going on. They're right kind of in the middle in this chop zone, which is mid-teens to mid-20s. Okay, so it's not over yet. We're getting this little bounce here. I'm waiting to see volume. Okay, I don't think there's been enough volume. There we go. So I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Yeah, like that. All right, so if you look at this, this goes all the way back to 2016, right? You can see this volume. There's a lot of it. Let's just go to a weekly to clean it up a little bit. So this is like the box that I would start mortgaging houses and stuff, but that's the bearish case too. That's where that about goes into the end of next year, and then we probably rally out of it. I drew this box, like, dude, when Bitcoin was like 17K or something, by the way. But anyway, so let's say about mid last fall, when the market started breaking out in 2015, we'll take it from there. And if you see this volume, it's up, it's good, it's up, it's good. But then we literally haven't had that much volume. And if you look behind, I have this kind of shaded out. This is kind of just how I do it. It's like my style. But I just have it shaded out because I don't really want to have all this noise of all these volume bars. This cleans it up for me when they are above kind of the shaded part. Then I know it's kind of serious and it's breaking a previous trend, right? And so if you look past here, the volume, let's say on the 20, this is like a 20 MA, so on a 20-week period, this volume has looked rather low. Let's put it on the 3-day. Sorry guys, the weekly is just not that great for crypto. It's just not been around that long. So here you go. This volume is about in the middle, right? And it hasn't, out of this whole sell-off, this latter part of this sell-off, the the volume declined significantly, right? A lot of times you do like to see capitulation volume on big sell-offs to like, so they're kind of done, kind of like how this one did, which is interesting to me that it was even way back here and it kind of exhibited that capitulation volume profile that you like to see. You know, like it kind of did back here on this big sell-off before the big run-up. But if you notice, we are getting mostly buy volume right here, okay? On the 3-day. This is important to note, too. And the volume has consistently been above the average, all right? So we haven't seen that anywhere in here. And I would argue that this action is mostly upward, the price action, right? And this is just a liquidation break in this channel. This is completely healthy, right? This is also what makes me lean a little bit bullish, that we're getting some nice buy volume with price action following through, little sell-offs, volumes tapering. Now we're on a new 3-day candle that started that started today, I believe. So yeah, it started today. So, and that's today, just like hours ago, right? So it's important. Do keep that in mind. This next big volume spike that we see, because there's going to be one that beats these ones here, these averages, and even this one, let's say around 20, or that's, sorry, that's not the right scale, but around this level here. If we get above here, that volume's going to give us the conviction of whatever move that this is really going to go to, is my kind of also opinion for the double confirmation. Oh yeah, y'all are looking at this up here. Oh my god, yeah, we're not going there anytime soon. Okay, don't worry about that. We're going to just get that off my chart. Don't want to get you too excited. Again, this box, super resistance, and it will have to be adjusted as we come back up. If it can break out of it, I will remove it, because then the channel will turn resistance. But right now, this box is definitely the resistance factor. Alright, let's put my volume chart back down here. That's why I don't like them on there, so I can have it on auto and have the most space, and I don't have to like adjust it and move it. I don't know if y'all have that issue. I also like to see the scale over here for volume as well. So that's just my 2 cents on taking volume away from the main chart. Alright, there you go. That's Bitcoin. Oh wow, as I'm like doing this, let's go to a 5-minute. Holy moly. Yeah, wow, that was kind of crazy. We're just talking about how it's looking bullish and looking kind of good. This is the floor here, and we have just popped. There's 5 minutes. In the last 10-15 minutes, we literally just popped about almost $100. So we'll see. It's interesting. Let's go to some Litecoin. To the Litecoin. Oof, gosh. Litecoin does not look good on any level. It really doesn't. Yeah, it's beating a dead horse at this point, guys. It needs to get back in this channel. I'm leaving it on there just to see if it can. It's just been a little weaker compared to everything else, or Bitcoin, which is kind of everything else, right? Alright, let's look at Ethereum. It's the damn same chart. We've been talking about it for weeks. It hasn't changed. They keep copying each other. It's almost getting rather boring. But you are seeing the divergence here on the bears DMI, which I'm liking a lot. I love that. So you got about like that coming down, right? And they are just coming out of the stranglehold above the mid-20s, guys. So that is a good sign. Did Litecoin actually show that as well? Let's go back real quick and look. Oh, I actually don't have the horizontals on there. Let me throw them on there real quick. Boom, bam. Oh, bam. Bam. Oh, okay, so that makes it look a little bit better for me. So now we have the bears are underneath the strong marker, which is again the mid-20s. So it is below 26 here. And it has been actually for a while, so I did not notice that. So we are coiled up for a pretty big move to the upside then on that note. So Litecoin does look a little bit better after I did just notice that. Let's go to Ripples. What? No, not Stellar. We'll go to Stellar next. Ripple, here we go. Ripple, still loving the Ripple. This chart here. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yep. Now we're in the battle zone here in the middle. We're right on the 50, super neutral. It's almost only you need to look at it on a daily. And you're like, what? That's a daily? Yeah, this is a daily chart. Look at this. And this is Ripple. The shittiest altcoin, right? Oh, everybody hates Ripple. Yeah, well, hate it. It's okay. You don't have to trade it. It's your prerogative. Do what you want with your money. But I do like this chart a lot. I've said it since it's been basing around here for the last week or so. It's been showing massive relative strength, guys. I mean, think about this, right? Let's see if we just put BTC and compare it real quick on the chart, right? Okay, look at this right here. Boom. Sell off, BTC. Big sell off. Flat. See this? Pumped with it. Sold off a little bit. Flat. Sell off. See? That's a cool feature. If you ever want to do that, you can go up here to compare and do that. And if you don't want it to be on the chart, you can do like so and click that little button overlay to uncheck it, and it'll plot it down here. And then you can use these little boxes to move it up and down like so. You can put it right next to it. You can even put it above it if you would like. And then it has its own scale as well. So I think that's just more. If you want to get nitty gritty with details, that's better. If you just want a quick visual, then that's good to do how I just showed y'all on the overlay where you could see it. But here you go. I just wanted to get a little bit more nitty gritty. And so you got about 17% from the 8,500-ish level, right? And I guess, oh, look at that. It is about 17 too. How funny is that? Although, since the 21st, let's say, whoa, wait, sorry. Yeah, because it had that last little, that's what it was. That's funny though, that's almost the same. It pumped, but then it sold off and stopped. Bitcoin pumped, went sideways, had the extra pump from about 73 to, you know, that 83 or whatever it was, 75 to 83, 85. And Ripple didn't do that, but it also hasn't done anything. It's just been chilling. I'm loving the relative strength here. The risk to reward, as we've talked about, is very good at this juncture. But do be careful if this does break high, like 40 pretty much on a daily. Watch the hell out. It will very much likely gap down to, oh, yep, there you go. I don't want to show you all that on volume profile. So there you go, 39.5, and then you ain't got nothing until 26 cents. So do be aware of that. It's very important. So I'm actually going to see if I can make this a little bit less intense here. If I just do, what if I just do right here about the third box on all of them? Does that look better? That's a little bit better. We'll keep that on there. I'm gonna have to adjust that and play with that more. There you go. There's volume profile on that one. Oh, let's go to EOS. Oh, we're actually getting the longest term moving average finally printing, which is in a good spot, right? Kind of around this basing, like the last line of defense here. It dipped, got bought up hard, got right back in that zone. So people are really liking it here. This is likely a good floor. EOS is looking fairly good on the dollar as well. Let's look at it on the 3-day. Yep, still in a downward trend and a downward channel. As soon as we break out of that, look and get above probably about $9-10, yeah, where it keeps getting sold off, and we got stack and moving averages and the channel and volume profile. So yeah, about $10, $9.50. That's going to be nice. If we close over that on a daily, we probably will have a nice run up to, I think, a target could be about 11. Let's look at EOS on a Bitcoin pair. What do we want to do? Bitfinex on the Bitcoin pair. Wow, look at that. Even, pretty even damn profiles. Not really giving you much to work with. Oh, you go back though. It doesn't look near as good. Let's go to the all-time high. Yeah, so right where this is printing, the longest term moving average is right here. Support, hardcore support there on a Bitcoin pair. It's not as compelling as the dollar chart, which is usually the thing on some of these more enterprise type coins. All right, XLM went bananas and then was like, hey, whoa, man, we got a little too crazy too fast. So they got slapped pretty hard. I don't think... Oh, let's go to a daily. Oh, that's it. All right, we got to go to Bittrex. That is not enough data for me. Bittrex has way more data. There you go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Lots of business done over here, right? Of course, when it was a 0.001 of a penny. Ooh, yeah. If y'all just want to know real quick to make your stomach turn, Stellar did a 46,000. It did over 40,000% gain in 2017. Whoa. Yeah, I know, right? Really still makes you think about, man, do we need to sell off like down here? Jeez. I mean, think about if you bought Stellar anywhere near on a dollar basis, right? So let's go look at it on a Bitcoin basis, just cause. Oh my goodness. So let's look at it on that, because you have to think Bitcoin ran up really crazy too, with like dollar wise at the same time lumens. So it's like an amplifier. But here you go, only 2,600%. So scrub coin, man. That garbage out of here. It's garbage. Hey. Alright, so back to the dollar on the lumens. We are at nice support here. It's looking pretty good. I like it. See if we can just hold and chill. Everything's waiting on the Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin. Sorry. Oh, let's see here. XLM was a nice one. I always like the XLM. Let's look at IOTA. That's what I wanted to look at, IOTA. I always don't. I usually don't. Like, mess with IOTA. Yep, this never played out here. Just something we were playing with, so that is done. It does. Look at this volume, though. These are some crazy candles. Look at that. Boom. Bearish engulfing. Bullish half wick golfing. I'm not sure. That's pretty wild. The market is confused a little bit, it seems like. But if you pull back a little, you know, there's a lot of support here going back. You got the all-time high, also the liquidation break before breaking out to the upside hardcore all happened right here, and also got caught once before here. So this is an interesting point at the moment. These are targets that I have from a measured move. We'll see once it starts breaking out. That's what I will be targeting. I am watching IOTA. Let's go to the even crazier on this. I bet the 4 hours super wild. Yeah, look at that. Made a little spinny, fat spinning candle. Came out. That looks about like right on the 618 retracement. If my eyeballs are good. You can't measure that one because that hadn't happened yet right here. Yeah, look at that, guys. Right on it. Fibonacci, if you don't use it, is extremely important, and specifically that 618 number. That's pretty much the only one that I like to look at. On this 4 hour, look at that. Yeah, you can see just like volume profile just slicing through all that. So lots of resistance. If we get over $1 on a daily, ladies and gentlemen, it should be party time on IOTA. All right. Let me see real quick. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for joining me today or watching later. I hope that you enjoy the little rest of the weekend that you have, or for average 9 to 5 Monday through Friday workers. And again, check out my other videos. Smash the likes, hit the bell, all those good things. Doesn't cost you anything, it helps me out. Also, please leave comments or suggestions or anything like that, or send them to my email, across whatever, Telegram. I would greatly appreciate those. And I will go ahead and sign off here with Noiz Research. Again, my name is Z-Rex, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.